I'm Matt Cramer. I'm the president of Dee Cramer Incorporated, and we're a third-generation family-owned sheet metal contracting business. And the one thing that Dee Cramer does better than everybody else is that we make the difficult look easy. We specialize in difficult projects with tight timelines, with tight budgets, and really specialize in delivering those projects on time and within budget. I felt like we somewhat were going through the motions a little bit prior to engaging in the EOS process. Looking back on it now, looking at the number of people that we've added and the organizational changes that have been made, you think you do everything great and that you have processes. We've been in business since 1937. We know how to do things and we have processes documented, but the reality is there's a lot of loose ends that are left open, and the EOS process has closed a lot of those loose ends for us. It's also been able to have our employees be more confident in the work that they're doing and understanding that everything that they're doing is the right thing at the right time, and it's been a huge value for us. It's a little challenging at first to get your arms around the amount of money that I might spend annually with our quarterly sessions and then our two-day annual, but the reality is it's reaped huge benefits for Dee Cramer. Was the EOS process worth the investment? And for Dee Cramer, that's absolutely a yes. Our company has grown from about doing $38–39 million to now in the mid-50s. And if we wouldn't have had the EOS process along the way, we definitely wouldn't have been able to make this transition as smoothly as we have. The greatest benefit for Dee Cramer in implementing the EOS process is the whole idea with the quarterly rock setting and the annual goals. It's getting each person within the team focused on what's most important for them quarterly or most important for the company annually. The one thing that I really liked about the process is getting everybody, including my executive team and all levels of the company, pulling in the same direction, rowing the same direction in the boat, and getting us all galvanized toward the same goals. The one EOS tool that's probably reaped the most benefit within our company is the core values and implementing the people analyzer into our annual review process. It's been a huge benefit for us from a people standpoint, getting our PRS, the right people in the right seats, and really allowing those people to grow and get positive feedback and incorporate that into their job. So that's been the biggest tool benefit for us by far. If we had any reservations about the EOS process, it probably was twofold. First, are we really going to have to sit in a meeting for an hour and a half every week with my executives? That probably is one of the biggest pieces. The other piece is just all the tools. And we were afraid, or I was afraid, that maybe, are we going to get shovel-fed all of these tools at once, and how are we going to make them all work for us? The reality is they're somewhat spoon-fed to you, and the process itself, you have to trust in the process that it'll work itself out. Just things that we really weren't accustomed to, but once we start using the tools and we start implementing them, they become part of our everyday life, and it really has been great for us. What made Mike a good fit for Dee Cramer, first off, was the fact that he had worked within a family business. That was something that immediately struck me as something that I really enjoyed, and I appreciated and respected the fact that I knew that as we were going through issues and as we were going through our quarterly planning, Mike understood or would understand different dynamics that exist within family businesses versus non-family businesses. So that's the first piece that I really enjoyed working with Mike. The second piece is, at the beginning, I'll be honest with you, I was a little nervous that Mike maybe wasn't going to grasp all of that and get his arms around that we are a very versatile organization and we do a lot of things differently, and that's probably one of Mike's biggest strengths. Is he recognizes the different things and the different nuances in the business pieces that we deliver to our customers, and he's able to understand and adapt and make good recommendations for us to be able to make the tools fit in the way that they work best for us. So those have been probably the biggest pieces where Mike's added a ton of value for us. It's really been important for Dee Cramer to engage Mike and continue to have Mike come and facilitate our quarterly sessions. At the beginning, I thought to myself, well, I can have Mike do this for a year or two and then I can probably facilitate it myself. And the reality is I probably could do it, but I find that it's a huge benefit to continue to keep Mike engaged and allow him to kind of rise above and be that balancing point so that he isn't engaged in all of our problems. And if you're trying to facilitate and really drive into the real issues and the most important things annually that the company needs to work on and the the rocks, the biggest rocks that the company needs to work on. In my mind, it's better if you're not as engaged as, for instance, I am in both the visionary and the integrator roles. I would definitely recommend the EOS process to other entrepreneurs, but I will say that it's got to be the right time for your organization. You got to be ready, willing, and able to tackle it and go after it, and you'll reap huge rewards if you do. And I would absolutely be willing to talk to anybody in regards to the EOS process and say why and how it's been beneficial for us and what challenges we've faced. Feel free to contact me by email or phone. I'd be more than willing to sit down and talk to anyone in regards to the process and how it's benefited our company.